Is that a Supra? Welcome to KRP Performance. Today we're going to be talking about this completely ridiculous 2J Swapped Mustang. Or should I say this Mustang Swapped Supra? I don't even know what to call this thing, to be honest with you guys. But, I mean, we got a 66 Mustang. We got a Supra rear subframe Mark IV. We have a Supra front subframe Mark IV. We have Supra brakes, Supra engine, Supra transmission, Supra subframes, and a Mustang body. I mean, what do you call it? I don't know. I really don't know. The chassis is custom. There's nothing left of the Mustang. It's all cut out. It's only the shell. I mean, even the firewall's not there anymore. There was registration on it, so somebody was going to drive this thing at one point. But we're going to go over this whole car. We're going to talk about the fab work done, what needs to be done. We're going to talk about my plans for it. And hopefully you guys will learn a little bit about a pretty cool car. Stay tuned. I'm going to break out the welder, get the miller all warmed up, and we're going to give it our best shot at making this thing solid. This was not my idea. I'll tell you all that for sure, because I don't want anyone thinking that this was mine. I bought the car this way. I bought everything you see scattered out all over the floor like this. I don't know whose idea this was. I bought it off of someone who bought it off of the original builder. As the story goes, this car was owned by somebody who owned a fabrication shop that wanted to teach his son how to fabricate. So I think what happened was the father started working on the car, did a really nice job on the rear, and was teaching his son along the way, and then the front just was not done so well. So the 2J is barely held in right now. I mean, the whole subframe moves back and forth, but the rear is really nice. I think they just quit somewhere halfway through, ended up selling the car. The guy that I bought it off of, I don't really know the whole story, but I don't think he wanted to finish it just because it was time and a ton of money to get it finished. So I'm gonna give it my best shot. All my friends hate me. They want me to pull the 2J out and put it in something cool because they know that this is going to be a really difficult project. But I mean, just look at the stance, guys. I just got to finish this car. So let's go over all the parts I got. I mean, I got a lot of cool stuff. I got a lot of original Mustang stuff that I'm going to be selling. I mean, I got really nice carpets. They're brand new. I like this. Got a nice Willwood master and booster. Fan. I have almost every original 66 Mustang piece as far as trim, door handles, window cranks, badges, everything. I have a whole box of AN line and fittings. That's really nice. I love these fittings, are great. I have a whole fuel system, but I believe it's for a carbureted car. It's a regulator. There's a pump around here somewhere. There's a filter. Air cleaner lid. Just a whole mess of random Mustang parts here. I mean, pieces for the AC, distributor, fuel pump, scissors, that's nice. Here's all the badges that came with it. U-bolts, if it still had. Leaf springs. Shifter bezel. A bag of P-clamps. I thought this was nice. It came with a Flaming River rack. I believe that this is actually for a Mustang though. So it's a Flaming River manual rack. These are really nice pieces. That might be for sale though. I don't think it's gonna work on this subframe. Got the original gaugers. I'm sure those are still gonna work. And I even got lug nuts, Mishimoto oil cooler, Mishimoto rad. I got Megan Racing coilovers. The rears are in, they're solid. I got to do some more strength on them, but not bad. The fronts aren't in at all. I'm still kind of thinking about what I'm going to do with that. We'll go over that in a second. I have pedals. I'm going to end up using Willwood pedals though, because they sell a really nice kit. I have I have two 2J computers. One of them is actually already unlocked, tuned, all that. I have a whole harness that looks like somebody was trying to rework. It should be all simplified now. I don't know what's going on here, but I gotta work my way through this harness, see what they did. I have the passenger side fender, which is unfortunately not matched the patina of the car. So I think I might try and find one of these blue ones and just cut it all up and then sell this nice one. Got the valance, intercooler, like pieces of the seats, and some random springs and exhaust components, but I mean, that's about it for the parts. It came exactly as you see it. See Mark IV brakes, RPF 1s, Michelin Pilot Super Sports. 2J already in. So now let's take a quick walk around the car. I'm gonna show you all the fab work that was done. I'm gonna show you where I needed to go. Since I know everybody's gonna ask this question, I'm just gonna go over it now. Why am I standing in this big warehouse full of parts and torn apart cars and things everywhere? Well, this is actually our second shop. This is where we keep most of our own personal stuff. Some customer cars in here, but it's mainly all of our stuff. So we have the 72 Nova over here, basically just waiting on some parts. The LS is in, it's put together, it's assembled. Got to fabricate the hot side here, then the cold side. Still needs some parts for the rear end, the transmission, drive shaft, so this is still a ways off, but there she is. Got the 408 for the Z06 over there. The only thing that car is waiting on is motivation from me. Just been super busy, haven't had a chance to get to it. We got twin 7875s here. Whole turbo kit for that. Not sure what this is gonna go in yet, kind of just bought it because it was cool. Holly intake along with that. We got the 1-of-1 Chevelle, turbo Trans Am, just some toys in the background over there, and then the Mustang. We also have our bus outside. I won't show you that right now because it's locked and I don't have the keys. But that's kind of a quick update. We got parts everywhere. I mean, Corvette parts, Nova parts, random parts, Chevelle, Trans Am, tools and toys over there. So that's a quick tour of the shop. Maybe I'll do an in-depth one day when I don't have a completely disassembled Corvette on the lift. Oh, I also forgot to mention I have another fender over here, some interior pieces, and the dash. But we're going to start in the back of this car, actually, because I think the back is really well done. It has independent rear suspension out of a Mark IV Supra. There's the whole subframe, diff, everything. Brakes. I think that this was done pretty well. There is some strengthening I still need to do. But let me show you what's going on back here. So I still need to add a floor. I'll add some bracing back here. The floor is really just only going to be used to house the fuel cell and the battery. But here's the whole rear cradle. See the diff, independent suspension. See the coilovers here. So these are actually already burned in. They're tightened up. Everything's solid there. The only thing I have to do is I'm going to add some gusseting along right here and on the back side, and that should be plenty strong. I mean, the sway bars are all in, control arms, everything's looking real nice back here. You can see they have this roll bar piece that extends up down into the main roll bar. So I'm going to go around the front of this, and I'm going to show you on the inside what was going on. Alright, so taking a look in through here, see the drive shaft's already in, the transmission's in. See the cage. I think that this tube work was really nicely done. It's a whole, the chassis is a boxed frame with these tubular style frame rails coming off of it. And I actually really like how it was done. It looks solid. I like the box. The welds in the back look nice. There are some of them that weren't finished, unfortunately, and then somewhere along the way the inside got painted, so I have to grind out the paint and refinish those welds. Kind of annoying, but not that big of a deal. See the floor's in. I gotta do steering, wire the whole interior, which there's not gonna be much in here. Basically just more of like a race pack style dash, steering, pedals, seat, and some harnesses. I'll definitely have a passenger seat because I'm gonna slide this car and I'd love to have some people in the car with me. It does have an automatic transmission in it right now. I'm just gonna leave that in there to get it running so I can test the chassis, test the strength of it, test the 2J, and then probably do like a CDO9. Definitely gonna have a manual in this car though, not gonna stay automatic. Up front, this car is not done that well. To be honest, I'm not too happy with how this is done. So let's go over this. See the 2J subframe here, control arm, sway bar, everything out of a 2J, steering rack, brakes, all that. These frame rails are decent, not the best. I don't know what they were going for with this crash bar style thing. It doesn't even line up to the fender, so that's probably getting cut out. But they do have notches for the rad. That fits nice, which is good. You can see the real big problem here. Ignore this, because this is actually just some ideas I was playing with. Is that the subframe is really not attached to the rest of the car. It just has one tube in the back, and that's it. I mean, it's tubular where it's attached, so it kind of acts like a torsion bar, and you can flex basically the whole thing if you pull on it. So, see I pull on this. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but the whole thing kind of moves. So this hoop over here is great. That's actually really well done. That goes into the main cage. I'm gonna have to do one over here. I'm gonna go up and over to the cage. And then for the coilovers, I think I'm gonna have like a CNC type of box cutout, or I'll have to order some coilovers with a single bolt hole on top and do more of like a shock hoop, kind of like the off-road guys do. I'm not sure which way I'm gonna go yet. I have to mock it up. I have to get everything strong to see how it sits. It's definitely straight, it's level, everything looks great. I just gotta make it strong now. See over here, I started strengthening the frame, welding in the rest of the box. And the one idea I had to strengthen the front, at least a little bit, is I'm gonna take this, cut it here. It's gonna sit somewhat like that. Grab the plate. And then that's getting welded down here to that channel. And then this is getting welded to the subframe. So this will help me with the twisting, kind of the back and forth movement. And then I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do for the rest. I kind of want to tie a tube off here, up through the floor into the cage. But one step at a time, really. You know I had to tease you a little bit. This is basically what this stance is gonna be, but a little bit higher in the front, because that is probably sitting on the tire. Yeah, it looks like it. But I mean, that's why I have to finish this car. Just look at that stance. This car is gonna be so much fun. RPF ones look so nice on these. I don't know why they have Mickey Thompson Streets on the back. Not a drag car. I don't know what was going on with that. They hacked out all the wheel wells, because obviously it's gonna be so low that it's just not gonna work with factory style wheel wells. I'll clean those up. I'll make those look all nice. But this engine bay is gonna turn out really nice. Have the coilover right here. Eventually I'll go to a single turbo. I'm gonna get it running just on the factory setup, just to get everything dialed in. It's got a little bit of camera. The wheels are going to poke out a little bit. That'll change once the coilovers get all burned in tight and adjusted. We get some kind of an alignment on this thing. Alright, so now I'm going to start doing some welding. That was basically the rundown on this car. There's not much to it right now, not much to talk about. It's just basically somewhat of a mocked up 2J and a Mustang with all super parts. So I'm gonna start doing some welding. I'm gonna get everything nice and solid, and then maybe next time we'll start talking about a fuel cell and trying to fire up that 2J, because I don't know if it's healthy. I'm sure it is. I mean, it's 2J, it's fine. If not, maybe I'll grab that 408 over there. All right guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.